let's say, 20 years and looking what kind of massive evolvement technology has done, it's amazing. I think it's time for the humanity to kind of evolve the same way as the technology has started to do.
Welcome back. I am Selina Scerri, the Artistic Director of the Creative Science and Arts Institute. In this series, we're going to be exploring the intersection of art, design, science, and creativity. Welcome to CSAI. CSAI is an institute that is dedicated to explore the intersection between science and art by contacting the best artists with the most cutting-edge inventions and ideas in the world at the moment. And we are pleased to introduce to you today Richard Murutar.
Hello, Selena. Hello, CSAI. Very honored to be here. I am Richard. I'm one of the founders of Robot Muralist. Robot Muralist is exactly where the technology and art gets together. And at Robot Muralist, it is our aim to create robots that help artists to create even more powerful art. We have created two different robots. One that you hold in your hand, which is called Leonardo. The piece behind me is also created with the handheld robot Leonardo. And we have created Albert, which is for very, very large format artworks when we're talking about buildings. Our aim is to empower the artist, give the artist opportunity to use technology to really create our visual environment.
And how would you describe Leonardo works exactly? What is the difference between Leonardo and Albert?
Leonardo is a handheld robot, like a digital brush. You move it and the software tells the printhead where exactly the pixels are that you are in search of. And when you hit the pixels, then Leonardo does dot, 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 dot. Now, Albert works completely differently. The idea of a printhead is the same, but Albert carries 50 printheads when creating on large buildings. And this is completely pre-programmed internally how the robot goes up and down and creates the pixel by pixel, combining 5 different colors. So with Leonardo, you go over layer by layer. With Albert, you're able to create photorealistic images using 5 colors immediately. So basically CMYK plus white. And when we're talking about like blending different colors together. So the main difference is one is for smaller surfaces, the other one is for bigger surfaces. The aim of the both one is to empower the artist.
So like to make it clearer for our audience, basically Leonardo, because we saw it here, you came to our studio in Malta to do a test. So basically what it is, the robot is added to the can and you just spray the picture. Right?
Exactly.
Vielen Dank an alle Befürworter von Giga Berlin Brandenburg. Diese Party ist für euch.
The camera module just sends the coordinates of the tracking LED. Put it somewhere the whole world is in the field of view, so that you don't obstruct the field of view yourself either. It's best to put it somewhere in the corner. First you gotta show the 4 corners to the printer so that it can calibrate all the perspective corrections.
How did this idea come along? Because I think you've been looking at the relationship between AI fiction and technical development, haven't you? To be able to... What did you look at to come up with your inventions?
The moonshot behind our robots is that we should give our visual environment back to the artist. All advertising that today is really literally raping our visual environment is evil. And I think this is our opportunity to change that. Having conversation with the audience. And this is different. This is inspiring. That makes healthier people. It makes people with more positive emotions. Positive emotions help people live longer and happier lives. This is where the idea came from. The will to give power back to the artist. Now, when I have been visiting different art communities all around the world. I have asked artists, what is it that you really need to be successful, to be happy? Quite often the answer is money. Then I would be like going there and doing stuff. What our technology is now doing is that we are empowering people to be more creative. Like everyone has the creativity inside, and now you have something to really like, now I will do it. Taking this creativity that is inside here and put it here on a canvas.
Would you consider this work of yours as mimicry, imitation art, or is it proper art? How can it empower an artist?
Great question. Humanity as a collective today has a great opportunity to start using technology to empower themselves and like get along with life way more smoother. I have created a hashtag called Robots for Humanity, which is I believe it's like up and coming movement of art, which idea is that the human always should be on the driver's seat when controlling the technology, and our technology is a tool in the hands of the artist. So the artist focus on the creation while robot helps to deliver, and robots are and will be always tool in the hands of the artist. Together with the artist, our technology creates art, which is basically new way of creating art. And we are very happy to see how artists are already applying this like on small scale and on big scale. When we talk about taking a photograph, which is usually like seen this size or maybe a little bit bigger, we transform them into the size of building with one day, and the whole process is pure creation. So I consider the works that we create the purest form of art.
We have polled the public opinion using the CSAI Community Site and social media. What do people think about robots and AI ever being creative?
We got a clear signal that people do think that robots and AI can indeed become creative. 45.5% think that robots can indeed be creative, while 27.7% think that robots can never be creative, with the rest being undecided. No doubt, movies, books, sci-fi and media coverage have firmly cemented the view of an advanced AI future in people's imagination.
Decision is always of the artist. I see that technology is heading to a direction where it is capable of making decisions and actually will be able to actually want to create. So I think AI will be in a position very soon where it has the will to create. This is the reason for Robots for Humanity. I really would love this AI to work together with humanity.
What underpins, according to you, a scientist's effort in mimicking a great master's work? What is it they are actually trying to masquerade?
Our technology gives the opportunity to create several unique artworks based on one creation. In some cases, it actually creates more economic opportunities for artists all around the world. They are able to create really awesome masterpiece and now create 10 unique versions of the same artwork. So I think our technology gives artists opportunity to make more money with their creation.
Can a computer be creative, or rather, how can a human be creative?
I really see that this is moving in a direction where human and computer are co-creating in a way that both make decisions and they are co-creating. I believe at least today we stand in a reality where the creativity comes from the artist and the robot is here to help.
AI benefits from the loop of creative imagination and technical development. How would you apply this to your creations?
I would like to see what will happen when we give our robots into the hands of artificial intelligence with the full freedom of creation. I have only seen like a human behind the steering wheel. To see robot behind the steering wheel operating our technology, it's like mind-blowing. I think now this is one of my biggest dreams that will happen someday soon. I will want to see this.
Exhibitions involving AI have been on the increase. Digital art is becoming a more popular and accepted art medium. So this begs the question, can AI ever be creative? Can AI produce artwork that is collected and coveted like that produced by humans? I asked our scientific director, Angelo Dalli, to explain.
I think AI per se is creative in a way that it is a very advanced tool. It doesn't understand exactly what it is outputting, but it can be an extremely useful tool for creatives in order to use it. So my verdict is AI can help creators be creative. I think it has elements of creativity in that it can follow aesthetic rules. Some of them that it has learned on its own without being taught exactly explicitly, like you would teach, for example, an art student to do particular compositions. It's going to learn them purely by examples, by looking at artworks that have existed, that have been created by humans, and in a way both mimic a little bit how humans have been doing things, but then add its own flavor. Why? Because we don't know exactly what the AI is learning and how it applies those internalized rules and also concepts that it has learned, how it applies them to the output that it creates. So it is a way its own creative element, and yes, I look forward to seeing machines create their own style and having their own flavor of art, which I think can be by all means generated and also considered to be artwork.
So are you going to remove the human? You're going to get rid of the human?
Let's say 20 years and looking what kind of massive evolvement technology has done. It's amazing. I think it's time for the humanity to kind of evolve the same way as the technology has started to do. This is the only opportunity that the human will remain behind the steering wheel. Otherwise, the technology will take over. My personal goal, I promise you this, is that always human will be behind the steering wheel to operate the technology that will help you create. This is choice that the humanity in general needs to make, whether to be controlled or become the master.
Would you agree that the point of engineering is to make life more like Star Trek?
That is my daughter.
Your daughter?
I created her, using myself as a model.
Yeah, Star Trek is a great example how we could imagine like technologically advanced society. I think the point of engineering in my head is to create solutions to problems that usually exist tomorrow. Engineering in general is to make life easy.
And the last question to close. So what would you say, more science or more fiction?
I think the new normal is art, that is science fiction.
Science fiction, as it is, no changing. Okay, thank you very much for your time. And we will be posting videos and article about your work and your visit here in Malta, in our studio, laboratory, where you executed a wonderful image with Leonardo. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed watching. Comment, click like and follow CSAI to keep updated with new releases.